Doing And in the Tropics. It's a Pulitzer Prize-winning play by Nilo Cruz. Won the Pulitzer Prize in 2003. It's a wonderful, lyrical, poetic, very dramatic play. I love plays that have a literary bent to them. It is inspired by the Tolstoy novel, Anna Karenina. And because of that literary connection, there's kind of like this wonderful interconnectedness with this Latin culture that is based on Cuban immigrants who come into Tampa and start a cigar factory, and the life that they lead because they have something called a lector. And a lector is a person who comes into the cigar factory and reads stories to the cigar workers of the turn of the century through when this play happens, which is in 1929. And through the rhythm and the beauty of the language, the cigar rollers roll and make these cigars, full of contradictions in that most of the cigar workers were illiterate, but they heard great stories. And when you see some names of cigars from this period of history, you'll see that, they're Romeo and Juliet, and they're based on these great heroes. And the reason is because those are the stories that the lectors read in the factories. And so in this story, it's about the creation of a new cigar, which they call Anna Karenina, and how that all takes place and how the interrelationships of the various couples in the cigar factory are completely changed when a new lector is hired in the factory. And it's a bit of a sexy play, it's a steamy play, it's a culturally very rich play.
When we're talking about the poetry of the language and how it makes it feel like this, it really is its own world. The fact that when they're listening to the lector, the people who are rolling get an opportunity to go into the novel and escape in their mind from what they're doing physically. Talked about being able to create a space that could be flexible and feel like it could be different spaces and go in different directions, and was an experience of inside and outside and creating a world that could kind of cross those boundaries. Almost the entire story takes place in various parts of the factory. We started exploring a combination of some buildings that have elements that could be either the outside or the inside of a building, really. A door, you could be seeing it from either side.
I think that Ophelia is like old school Latina lady. She looks good, she's well put together. She's got some nice little tango shoes on. That woman looks good. She will always look good. Conchita has followed in that type of footsteps. I feel like her clothes are very chiffony, sensual, are very sort of handkerchiefy kind of clothes. Morella she's like the little dreamer, and she's she's the younger child, and just sort of age appropriately, she needs to look like the younger child. She comes into her own in this, and she's hearing like this really romantic story for the first time and kind of falls in love. In the family, she's the unmarried daughter, and so she's still, treated in that sort of Catholic environment. It's presumed you are a little virgin and you need to dress like a little girl.
There's a little bit of mythology, and there's wonderful literary value, and there's sex.